Can you hear me? Yay. I'm very excited to be here, and I'm very happy to be here also. I have been speaking with so many of you in the last 1.5 days, so you know, some of you, that I'm very anxious to be here right now, just because I love the topic, but it's a very exciting moment for me. The reason is, about 25 years ago, I came to New York to study toy design. And it's almost like it feels like a full circle for me to understand what play means. It's kind of, this drawing is also showing me, really imagining what the future is going to be. I was really thinking, just before coming to New York from Turkey, like, what is toy? What are the play, and how am I going to actually impact the world, and am I going to do something, and do I even have a future? So it's looking at the waves and looking at the agency and imagining the future. It's kind of like you start to see patterns, and they are all coming together. And it's kind of like, for me, it's a full circle to understand what is a toy, what is a game, and there are so many different categories, but what is the overarching topic of play, and how does it actually impact us? So my question is going to be, do you play? Other than games or toys, do you play in your life? Yes? Yes? Good. So for me, over the last 25 years, working in big toy companies, doing a lot of research and understanding and interacting with many different cultures, what it came to me is there is a universe of play. We are all actually in the play world. We are all connecting with each other. We are all inspiring each other. Play has this amazing transient feeling that it kind of creates this collective intelligence. We are all kind of combining all these kind of different ways of interacting. And I'm always interested in, it's not just a human thing, it's actually a living thing. It's any living is actually playing. If they are not playing, then they are not surviving, because it's a very much important way of surviving in this world, right? In this universe. So it's really important to have that kind of understanding. It's not just one thing, but it's actually a collective of many things. And so this is, for me, it became, to understand play and how we actually relate to it, I had to live it. You know, I had to be in the playful mind. I had to be doing it with every minute of my life. When I'm grieving, when I'm actually communicating with people, when I'm in the nature, it's actually the moment that you enter into play and you start to understand how it is actually impacts you, because it is the embodiment of play that you start to really feel it, its description, its actually meaning to it. So this is a picture, this is a photograph of me being in Thames, in the cold water, swimming with many other people who are actually also enjoying the time, but also we are really connecting with each other. We start to create that community, and that's the most amazing, the most powerful thing. And the more you are actually connecting with people, you are actually starting to be aware of it. That awareness starts to create the pattern that you start to notice the details. And these details becomes like the whole macrocosmos of the playfulness. So when you look at this picture, you might be seeing many dew kind of bubbles and kind of coming together, but at the same time, you are seeing a flower, and then you start to see the whole meaning of it, which means it's actually creating a play language. That is very important to have that play language to understand it, so that every time you notice it, then you start to become more curious about it. The more you are curious about it, you are more actually wondering about it. And that's a very important process that we have to give space and deliberately incompleteness so that anybody can enter that playful moment. Depending on, it doesn't really matter what kind of technology we are using. I think these components are really important to create so that we can actually create a future. And this is Another, for me, this is a very good photograph of understanding how the playfulness and play mode can actually transient within the group of people. So I have almost experienced it over and over again, and most likely I'm going to experience it this weekend also when I'm racing. It's kind of like, if you have the kind of like this playful mind, the openness, and actually being curious of what might happen rather than focusing on the end result, that really goes into the boat. I mean, this is a metaphor, of course, in this case, but it's actually, you see it, you immediately feel it, how it can actually impact the result. If you have this powerful way of actually being in that playful mode, you know, even though if you don't win the race, you win the community, you win the kind of connection. You are actually being in that understanding of each other. And it's super interesting. If you are in that mode, then you are actually connected to each other's movement. And that movement really impacts everyone, and it starts to become a whole collective intelligence, because at the end of the day, that movement becomes the intelligence. And this is the video that I need to show. I have been working with a company called Cubes, and it's an interactive audio play console. So we are actually creating, and I'm doing all the research for them. So I just want to show this video.
Did you know? The Venus flytrap eats bugs instead of just sunlight like other plants.
So this is the part where it's actually not doing anything. These blocks, when you move them, they are counting and they are doing a lot of things, and there's a storyline. But when I was doing the research and trying to understand if this game is actually working with the kids, when it stops, we always had these storylines, like small kind of facts that we have actually scattered around. And when I was doing this research, the kid was sitting in front of me. He was just kind of like, he's a 4-year-old, and he was just listening, and then he was kind of dreaming different things. And then all of a sudden, he heard this fact. And it was kind of, you could see it in his eyes. It's almost like he became this super like amazed, and there was this spark in his eyes. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. You know, just to see that kind of excitement and curiosity and the wonder in the eye of the child is just amazing to kind of experience it. And it's kind of like, then it occurred to me, it's really important for us to create those moments more. Because the more we are actually creating, then we are actually almost spreading this wondrous kind of feeling, everyone. And we start to become more connected in that sense, and that actually creates much more paying engagement, and that also starts to become more creative, much more creative way of thinking. And at the end, it kind of became for me a reality. It's kind of like a, very recent I started to knit. So this is me just trying, but it is a metaphor for me. It's play is not the thread, play is the weaving. It is the one that actually you create, you bring all your cultural background, your understanding of yourself, the environment that you are in, and the more you are actually weaving, the more you're actually okay with risk-taking, making mistakes, and with the whole thing is actually the play. So that is the one that really creates the reality. So I think for me, the future of play is not something one or the other, but it's all of them. And it's creating the right type of space, right kind of timeline, so that we can actually open up more ways of understanding each other. And we start to see many patterns also, because it's kind of like it opens our mind to see, in that playful mind, we see patterns. And in this one, for example, I love this image because you can imagine this looks like a river, or this can look like a tree, or this can look like something completely different. but it's actually neurons coming together, and it's the connection. And I love it because it's kind of like you can totally see it with many different ways of seeing. It kind of reminds me of John Berger's book, The Ways of Seeing. It's exactly that. It's that playful mind gives you all these kind of different lenses. You can, if you want, you can go into much more deeper understanding it, or you can almost make up many stories, but that's the power of it. And I think we need more of that so that we can actually give the future of children or future of humanity that they have more imagination. The skill of imagination, I think, is our power. So that's very important for us to be able to notice more, to be able to be aware, to connect, and actually start to create that wonder rather than killing the wonder. I think that's what I would say future of play is. And for that reason, I just want to finish it with me and my nephew jumping into the swimming pool. But for me, this is a very important moment. This is the time you are almost agreeing on that playfulness. You are in that moment, you are connected, you don't care what will happen next. I mean, most likely you will be very wet, but it's okay. But you know, it's so powerful to have that joy and to have that kind of magical moment and jumping fully to the unknown, uncertainty, being okay with it, and really harnessing this wondrous world. So thank you very much.